What if, instead of you adapting to your desk adapted to you? Today we're talking about standing desks, specifically FlexiSpot's E6 standing desk. Now I have to admit, before I got this guy, I didn't really see the appeal of standing desks or like height adjustable desks. Then generally desks were just kind of like an afterthought, but this desk is different. And as someone who's coming from a boring non-standing desk, do you call it sitting desks? This is probably the biggest quality of life upgrade you can make in terms of productivity. Standing desks can accommodate heights for sitting, standing obviously, and everything in between. Your desk adapts to how you want to work, and I found that just changes everything. The E6 specifically features a clean design with a very flexible height adjustment system and enough power to hold 352 pounds. It's also got a nifty controller that lets you program up to 4 different preset heights, so you can quickly switch to the height you want with the push of a button. And it's also got a super cool safety feature. And later on in the video, I'll show you just how simple it is to use all these features, so be sure to stick around. Before we begin, I'd like to thank FlexiSpot for sending this guy over, and if you're looking to pick one up, you can check them out in the link in the description and the comment section below. Let's get started. So the desk comes in 2 packages. We have the desk frame and then the actual desk top. So I'm gonna get started with building the desk frame. So I'm gonna set up a clock here so we can see the time it takes for me to build all this. There's a user manual. The desk comes in 2 boxes, one for the stand and one for the tabletop, and they both got some weight to them, so consider grabbing a friend to help you carry them. One thing I like about this whole setup, all the screws and all the little bitty parts, they're all in this neat little organizer, organized by letter, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I don't have to dig through a whole bag trying to look for the screws I want. I can just follow the instruction manual and then it'll tell me which screws, which bag I should be opening. So that's actually really convenient. It's gonna make things a lot quicker. The instructions for building the desk were pretty straightforward. There was one minor inconsistency, but it was no big deal and I worked it out pretty quickly. The desk comes with a bunch of pre-drilled holes, but there are some holes in the instructions that call for a powered drill. The only other tool that you'll need that isn't provided is a Phillips head screwdriver, which, let's be honest, everyone has. And the desk comes with an Allen key and a wrench. The whole thing took a little more than an hour to build, although I'm sure someone more experienced in building furniture could probably cut down on that time. After building the desk, I tried setting it up with the included wheels, but later decided on just keeping the feet on for now. If you like moving your workspace around a lot though, the included wheels can be quite handy. Now, my cable management is pretty bad, but thankfully FlexiSpot includes a bunch of cable holding thingies that you can use to secure your cables, which is nice. With these, I was able to give my setup the cable globe it deserved. I did have to move this from my home to the house I'm living in for university, which is this, and it wasn't too much of a hassle to partially disassemble and then reassemble everything, although I did leave some stuff hanging at first when I was testing the desk, which caused the desk to act a bit goofy, but once I secured everything properly, the desk went back to normal, so when you're assembling it, just make sure everything is secure before you actually start using the desk. The desk looks absolutely phenomenal when finished. It's got a super clean one-piece desktop. It's got a super clean one-piece desktop that looks absolutely flawless without any weird gaps, and there's plenty of room for all of my devices. This desk in particular is the 55-inch by 28-inch size with a white tabletop. One thing I was a bit worried about was how the white desktop holds up over time, but so far it's faring quite well, and I paired it with a Logitech desk mat, which I think looks super clean. There are plenty of different sizes, styles, and colors to choose from if you prefer those, so you can pick the one that suits your room's style. And overall, it's a very clean, modern design, and I love how it looks in my space. In a standing desk, one of the most important things are the motors, and this thing has dual motors that can handle up to 352 pounds of weight. The motors are also pretty quiet. The motors have a 3-stage lift system, so it's got a lot of different heights you could choose from, and the range of heights is more than enough for me. Here's the maximum height and the minimum height. The desk can adjust from 24.4 inches to 50 inches in height, so it can handle everyone from the shortest 3'2" kid to 6'5" adults. Good to know if your 3-year-old nephew Jeff wants to lock in, then start their own business, they'll have a solid desk they can use. And it is a very solid desk. As mentioned before, it can handle up to 352 pounds of weight, and I can sit on it no problem. The desk still remains pretty stable. It rises up very gracefully and gently. To control the desk, you use this controller thing that you can mount on either the left or the right side of the desk. The desktop includes pre-drilled holes for both. You press the buttons to wake the controller up, and the buttons have a nice blue glowy outline to them, so if you're working late at night, you'll be able to see all of them. There's a little screen to show the height you're at and your simple up and down buttons, and then next to that you have 4 different mode buttons and an M button. You can use the buttons with the standing icon, the sitting icon, the 3, and the 4 to remember a certain preset height so you don't have to manually raise and lower the desk each time. And to set a height for any of the 4 buttons, you first set the desk to the preferred height, hit the M button, and then press the button you want to save that height to. Super simple. So if I want to set this height as my standing height, I simply press the M button and then press the standing button, and then I'm done. From now on, every time I press that button, it'll raise the desk to this height automatically. Other than a standing and sitting button, there's also a third and fourth setting you can program for good measure if you want more preset heights, like if you share the desk with someone. The desk also has an anti-collision function when you use the preset modes to raise and lower the desk automatically, and it's designed to prevent children and pets from being bumped or crushed when you're raising and lowering the desk. So remember Jeff, your short little 3-year-old nephew? They're safe. This feature works extremely well if you bounce or bump against it, but I found it's not really designed to handle continuous pressure. Still, this is a very impressive safety feature, and as mentioned before, I found it works really well when you bump it, both when raising and lowering it. You can also adjust the sensitivity to how you like it, or even turn the feature completely off if you want to. To cycle through the sensitivity, press and hold on the up and down arrow buttons for 5 seconds and it'll display the sensitivity code on the screen. A0 means the anti-collision function is turned off, A1 is low sensitivity, A2 is medium, and A3 is high sensitivity. Overall, a nice peace of mind feature that FlexiSpot included in this desk. Last but not least, if anything breaks, FlexiSpot's got you covered with 15-year coverage on the frame and motors, and 2 years on the control panel and electronics. Overall, I'm super happy with this desk. It's pretty much worked flawlessly since setting it up, and it looks super clean. I'm also a big fan of the height adjustment. It's definitely more than enough for my needs. So again, thanks to FlexiSpot for sending this desk over, and they're actually running a Prime Day campaign, so if you want to check them out, I've linked them in the description and comments below. Alright, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for joining me today. Be awesome and stay techie. Bye!